Hi, good evening. First of all, thank you a lot for helping me reach the or double the subscriber numbers overnight since my last video. And I hope you'll continue to support this, effort to get a much wider subscriber base so that more people can have access to this, and of course, more people can contribute to the making of future videos. Thank you, one and all. Uh, I concluded the last video talking about how the varieties of English have gained currency and acceptance around the world, and in particular with reference to how BBC has become a far more inclusive broadcaster using or involving or including uh, varieties of English languages spoken around the world. And uh, there was also uh, a discussion about how the current global political leadership and economic political leadership have people from non-Anglo background in particular who also brings in that kind of what to say acceptance to the types of English that is spoken. So, in other words, it is no more required for us to speak like the BBC or perhaps the King's English now or the Queen's English as it used to be in the past. Now, from there, we now should look at the micro level reasons as to why we would like to learn or improve our language. So, what are your reasons for improving your English proficiency? Um, and what has been your journey to where you are? Because everyone listening to me here, you have acquired the language, English language, as your second, third, or fourth language, perhaps. And some of you may be speaking English as your first language itself. But why is it that you are interested in this discourse, this conversation? And is it primarily to help you speak better, do better, be more proficient? It'll be great if you can share your thoughts as to why you want to improve your language. Now, this is where I think we should look at Noam Chomsky's idea or thought about the reason for the language. Why do we need language? And what does it do? Um, you may tell me, or many people, many of my students have told me in the past that they want to, improve the language to communicate. Yes, it's true. You may want to communicate. Maybe some of you are trying to, ace an English language exam, for example, for IELTS or PT or any of those things, any of those exams. You may be trying to make yourself feel more confident, to be perhaps more presentable when it comes to your discharging your professional responsibilities. So, for example, if you are in a leadership capacity, you may probably want to impress on people with your language, your team. And if you're in business, perhaps you want to reach out to your markets, your clients, and no matter what you are trying to do, why you are trying to improve the language. It is important to also consider what Chomsky has, put forward as a remarkable thought about the purpose of language and the function in particular. What does a language do in reality? Simply put, not going through the the linguistic meta language and discourse. Just to put it forward as a layman's understanding of what Noam Chomsky said, is that the fundamental purpose of language is not to communicate. Yeah, that's true. He said the fundamental purpose or function of the language is to think. And he arguably presented the rationale as to how human beings would have developed and enriched their languages fundamentally because we wanted to think. So it could probably be connected with the saying, like, I think, therefore I am. So it's part of our identity. And as a matter of fact, if you really look at the language that you use, who do you use the language with? Compared to the language that you use with yourself, for thinking about a lot of things. Because even when we are not speaking to other people, even when we are not writing to other people, because those are the two forms of communication or channels through which we try to interact with other people. If you're not, when we are not writing or speaking, we still use language, don't we? And that language goes in your mind, and that language captures everything what you are, your environment, and everything else. So we should therefore understand that if I need to speak English as a language while speaking with other people, I need to use English to put forth an idea or to communicate a very specific aspect of what I want to communicate or what I want other people to know through me. There must be a lot that must be going at the back of my mind. In other words, it is very important for us to develop our personal linguistic ecosystem. So, your confidence of using language, of any language for that matter, is directly proportionate to the ecosystem that you have developed in your mind. It depends on the kind of thoughts you have, the way you are able to think, the experiences you have had in your life, the knowledge you have acquired. There are so many factors that influence, the growth and the development of your personal language ecosystem. And that's where, in our first language, because of the nature or the context where we grow up, we naturally acquire a lot of those, elements of that ecosystem, because your parents will be talking to you, your grandparents, your cousins, your family, your society around you, your school communities. Everyone will be using this language. So everyone keeps enriching your language ecosystem when it comes to your first language. Whereas in a second language, that doesn't happen. And that is where people have tried out language immersion programs. That is where people believe to a great extent that, like, if you go and live in a particular country where a particular language is spoken that you want to acquire, putting yourself in that environment will help you grow better. Effectively, what you're trying to do is to enrich your ecosystem. So if you're trying to improve your language, especially if you are trying to improve your English language communication, then one of the things that we have to cater to is to grow or to enrich or expose your personal English ecosystem that you have at the back of your mind. And that is where elements like reading, listening, and of course thinking in that language be some of the handy tips to go for. And that's one of the reasons why I decided not to go for a English lesson per se communication. So these sessions are going to be a situation, a place, an opportunity for you to come and collect some of the thoughts, and you can pretty much go back and apply. So think about the books that you have read, and it doesn't matter in which language you have read it eventually, because even if you've read a book in another language that you speak, it's quite fine, because that can contribute to your thoughts. But when you think about it, ask yourself, what language do you think in, and how far? If you think in English, how far you think you are able to think in English. I think I'll leave you tonight with that thought. Please post your thoughts, comments, questions, below this video, and maybe in a couple of days from now, I'll be back, talking or taking this conversation further. So finally, once again, please share and subscribe and encourage other people to join in. Let us make this a growing community. Our community is growing. It's very small today, but certainly it's growing. And I can see in the coming weeks and coming months, we're going to have a much larger group. And certainly, it's a promise that we will do it far more interactive and live. So until we acquire the the capability on this medium, on YouTube, to do live interactions as frequently as we would like to, let us help each other to grow, come together as a community. Thank you very much. Have a good night and take care. Bye-bye.